What made you decide to hire a listing partner?
Well, I was burnt out. I mean, totally. Summer of 2000, March of 2009. Yeah, just over 2 years ago, March of 2009. The company that I was with, which was a Coldwell Banker franchise, they closed their doors, and I had to figure out within about a 2-week period what I was going to do. So that was, needless to say, one of the most stressful moments of my life. Interviewed with different companies and finally decided that opening up our own company just made the most sense. You know, our company is Morley Real Estate Group. Previously, we were Morley Real Estate Group, the team inside of Coldwell Banker. And so we basically just pulled the team out and moved into our own office. I mean, it's been great. I mean, being on our own has been absolutely great. There haven't been more headaches or hassles or everything, you know, people said it's going to be such a pain dealing with this and that. It just hasn't been. But I will say the first month or two, you know, finding the office space, getting insurance lined up, I mean, doing all the little things that you have to do to start a company and open up a new office, that took a ton of time. And at the exact same time, my schedule as far as listing appointments we were booking just jumped through the roof. And so by the end of the summer, I was just totally burnt out. Bringing on a listing partner was something I always knew I wanted to do from day one. You know, I knew that I didn't always want to, well, let me put it this way. I wanted to build a business, not a job. So I knew that if I created a business that required my absolute day-to-day involvement, and if I was on vacation or in the hospital or something, you know, things would come crashing down. That's not a business worth owning. So having a listing partner from day one was always a goal. Summer 2009, that's when it, you know, finally made sense. I mean, we were booking enough appointments where it just made sense. So September of 2009, that's when she started going on appointments. And I'd say, you know, by December 2009, that's when I was completely done. All listings had been transferred over to her, and I was not going on any appointments anymore. So it's been a year and a half, really, since I've been on a listing appointment. I think I went on 2 last summer when she had surgery. So,
did you see a drop-off in the percentage of listings that were signed?
No, I mean, she's basically done just as good as me.
And what do you attribute that to? Did you have a system in place that she could just step into?
Yeah. You know, I want to make it so that every listing appointment we go on, we don't have to do any selling. You know, so I want my marketing materials to do such a good job of selling our company and us that there doesn't have to be a real big presentation, a real big sales job going on at the appointment. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like we're kind of there. I mean, we'll always get better. And right now, I feel like, you know, we could be a lot better in our scripts and objection handling and, you know, some of the materials we use in our listing appointment presentation. I mean, everything can be optimized and made better. But when Laura goes out there, she's not going out there just by herself. I mean, she's going with the backing of, you know, a team and some great systems and some great marketing supporting her.
So it hasn't been difficult to make that transition. Have sellers asked, why isn't John out here to list my property? Has that come up?
You know, that was, okay, so hiring my first assistant, giving up some administrative tasks, that was, for me, an easy thing to do. Bring on a buyer's agent, that was a little bit more difficult. You know, now, you know, somebody's calling me, they want to go see a house, and I'm having somebody else working with them instead of me. That was a little bit difficult. But with sellers, for some reason, I feel like this is true for, you know, basically every realtor I've talked to around the country. We have this ego that sellers really, really care about us. that because they're calling me, that, you know, that it's because they want me. And the truth is, they're calling me because they have the impression that they will get their house sold quicker and for more money and with less hassles with me than with anyone else. So they're not calling me to be friends with me or because they like me and want to get to know me. They're calling me for a result. So, but it took me, you know, I mean, we scripted out every possible objection, every way somebody could ask, well, what's John's role in the process? What does John do? blah, 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 and came up with all these different answers. And, you know, everybody on the team was well scripted before we made this transition. And you know what happened? We never get asked. I mean, people could care less. I mean, they really could care less. So, I mean, now it does have to be worded correctly, and we have to set expectations properly with the seller to let them know what it's going to be like. But, you know, if you tell a seller this is how it's going to be, then they can't be upset at you or disappointed. So if we tell them that my listing partner is going to go on the initial appointment and my listing partner shows up at the appointment instead of me, they can't be disappointed because that's what they're expecting. If that makes sense. And if there was really a problem, like if they just, nope, we're not going to hire a team, we want an independent agent, we want somebody who does it all, well, number one, we would know that up front, we wouldn't book the appointment, or they wouldn't book the appointment with us. And number two, you know, if somebody's like that, they're generally not going to be a good fit for us anyway.